Welcome back to another edition of Discovering the Foundation of Truth. My name is John Lemus,
Director Mula.
Who's saying that, bro?
and the title for this one is going to be Negative Thinking is the Role That We Actually Play in Our Suffering. So, first question, you guys, is going to be have you ever seen something you cannot explain? And what was it? Have you ever seen something you cannot explain?
I'm not seeing it, but we're talking about the world, the earth spinning or whatever.
Something you can't feel? Okay.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that.
Not feeling the world spinning?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever see something you couldn't explain? Haji?
I don't think so.
No? You think you got an explanation for everything? That's good.
I think I do, but it might not be the right explanation.
Yeah.
I would like to see a UFO and be like, wow.
Yeah.
But I think
So why do you think we haven't seen any UFOs yet? Do you think they do exist?
I have no idea.
Okay. You want them to exist?
I want them to exist because it's a different. It would stimulate your mind differently.
Yeah.
That's that's the thing. Like, when you discover something, you see something, you see the opportunity and see the growth from that thing, rather than be scared from it.
Okay. All right. Next one's a little bit easier. Do you have any collections, whether shoes, watches, anything like that? Do you collect anything?
Nah. Money. Yeah.
Money? He's funny. Oh, do you collect anything, Haji?
Mm-mm.
I don't either. That's crazy.
I don't have any.
I don't know what that says about anybody. But
I don't know.
I guess when you collect stuff, you start idolizing it.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. All right, go to Haji with this one. What do you think is the biggest global problem today? What do you think is the biggest global problem?
Today, the global problem today, I would say social media.
Social media? Or is that the biggest opportunity? You think it's
I just think
problem?
the way it's used.
Okay.
Yeah. The way it's perceived, that's all.
Okay. Do you have an idea of the biggest global problem?
Sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking. Okay.
You guys did watch that movie. Huh?
Yeah.
That's
that was
probably why.
crazy.
Yeah.
Which one are you talking about? You talking about
You-
that?
you- yeah.
Yeah, we went together and watched
Yeah,
it.
yeah, it was definitely a big problem.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my guess would be, or my answer would be, biggest global problem would be inequity. Not having, equal opportunity for everybody, and it's definitely systemic.
I think to me that is BS.
You think it's BS?
Yes, because I feel like COVID actually, had like a
Kinda
had
leveled
an
the
effect.
playing
Kind of
field?
leveled the playing field, and social media, phones, and all of that like kind of leveled the playing field. Now it's up to you. It's up to people that either you want the information or you don't. Because
Okay.
either you want to be stuck in the system or you don't. It's a choice.
It certainly is. Yeah.
Yeah, because you really look at it, COVID did a lot of good.
Yeah.
There's a lot more millionaires made from COVID than any other era.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. Though.
Yep. Okay. This is kind of a deep one. What is it that prevents people from understanding themselves?
There you go.
Huh?
There you go.
Their ego definitely gets in the way.
Fear. Yeah, that's part of
Fear
it.
definitely
Yeah,
gets in the
that's
way.
part of ego, yeah.
Yeah. I guess just understanding knowledge.
Yeah.
They have to really know where they're from. What their actual ideas are.
I think purpose.
Right.
Yeah.
Identity is definitely one of them. Okay. Why do people do actions that they know are harmful to themselves and others? Why do you think people do stuff like that? Maybe smoking, maybe drinking.
I mean, they did it so much it became a habit.
Okay. So you see other people doing it.
Yeah, bro. So,
Just kind of follow them.
yeah, that's how I usually start off.
I think for me it's either like it has to be like two things, but even with that is specific. Something is not clicking to where like they need something to nullify or to occupies something that needs to be filled in. So it's like a gap that is missing. So, but and then if you hang around somebody so much, you become that person. You can't be an environment, a person to your environment.
Yeah, you become your environment. Yeah. All right. What's the single most effective action a government might undertake to improve the lives of its citizens? What do you think the government could do to help the average person?
They doing a lot. I'm gonna keep it real.
You think it's good or bad? That's what
It's
they're doing?
bad. I mean, it's holding somebody back, and and they making that irregular to them, so they don't grow.
Okay, they're making them kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real with you. The food stamps helped the shit out of us when we was coming up.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was good and bad because it'd have been rough if we had to pay for those in cash.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's the government doing? What could the government do to help the average citizen instead of having them, wanting to be sustained by them?
I think it's absolutely. It starts very, very at a young age. Better school system.
Absolutely.
So you can, and absolutely like programs for young kids because they cut all those programs for young kids. But you have to start at a very young age to where you can have an effect on them when they do grow up. So I think it's just overall better education, better healthcare system, and better environment for the kids to grow in.
Okay. This is a weird question. Do you have a strong feeling about how you're going to pass away?
I mean, I would just wanna while I'm sleeping, pass away while I'm sleeping.
Get old and just shut off. Like
Yeah, like that's cool with me.
I mean, what about you?
Man, I'm the closest one there. I would have to say
like that.
I would hope that like he said, get old and it's just time to go.
Yeah.
I kind of want to check out myself, but yeah, I don't have any feelings as far as like, I'm gonna go drown or it's not.
Nah.
I'm not doing stuff that would actually facilitate my passing.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm not, jumping out of airplanes or there's some things that people do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go rock climbing. They're like, that might be how I'm gonna go. But
Yeah.
something pretty simple.
It's crazy for me because like ever since flying the planes, like that's like my least worry.
Yeah, because you have more control of it.
Yeah,
you understand.
But even if understanding it, that's definitely number one.
Yeah. People, if you don't understand it, then you fear it.
Right now, it's just like I feel like because I'm not scared of anything. I feel like just being at the wrong place at the wrong time and just get hit by a bullet. That's like how I feel right now.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
Yeah.
Like being at the wrong place at the wrong time and or maybe one of these mass shootings or something like that. That's just like my fear of going.
What's funny about that is I don't even have a fear of that because my faith in God, and he basically will actually do your steps. So I don't think I'm going to be in that. And if I am, I think the bullet's just going to go right. It's weird. I don't know what it is.
Hey,
Okay.
just because you understand it,
I'm not going around to all the gangs and telling them bad things. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, sometimes things just happen.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, this is one you got to think about for a second. Identify 3 things that you and your partner have in common. So obviously we're all 3 are married.
Yes, correct.
So what is something you have in common with your wife?
Ooh, that's amazing.
And I'll start, and it's tough because
you start
we're
this one.
almost opposite in every thing. But actually, my wife is actually just starting to understand a little bit more about business.
Yeah.
And she's having people do things that are kind of simple. So that's good. So she's starting to follow along my ideas at least. Man, where does it go from there? She's emotional. I'm rational. We actually both. Yeah, we actually both, actually don't mind getting up early. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of in common. She's finally going to bed a little bit earlier, which is good. So our sleep schedule's getting a little bit better.
Something in common.
Common.
As far as,
thing.
we both like to go out. Yeah, we both like to go out to eat.
Yeah. Okay.
She don't like to cook as much, and I don't like to clean.
That's in common.
So that's pretty common.
Yeah.
I think that's 3. I don't know. You have anything you have in common?
Yeah. I would say we're both hustlers. Like you
Okay.
know, like if we're on the grind, we're on the grind.
She has it in her though.
Yeah.
That's good.
Um, I would say we both like nice things. And then the last thing is probably like we're like we like big, like I don't know, big things. So like I'd rather have like a big car, big
Okay.
house type of thing. So
I mean, that's anybody. Yeah.
What do you have in common with your wife?
Nothing too crazy. I mean, in common, we play soccer together. That's one
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, definitely athletic.
Yeah. Second thing, I think we both like sleeping.
We both enjoy our sleep.
Yeah, for sure.
That's because you work hard.
Yeah,
You
for
rest
sure.
hard.
But other than that, there's a lot of differences.
Yeah, I'm telling you, differences actually attract. It's weird because what I'm not real good at, my wife is really good at organization. And she'll have a list of things to do. I'm like, man, one thing. All right, so this is an actual formula, and I want to go a little bit deeper into the formula. I've told you guys before, your mindset plus your skill set plus your tool set equals your asset. Okay, now when you have a formula like that, you have those three things on the left side and you have the asset on the right side. For the right side to get bigger, the left side has to grow. Okay, so just an example. He has an Airbnb. Okay, that would be the asset. How could he make that asset worth more by changing either the mindset, skill set, or tool set? Now, mindset is like how you think about something. Skills is what skills you have in business. Trying to use leverage. And a tool set would be like using like technology
Right.
or whatever. So how would you increase the asset by changing one of the three? On the left side.
Increase the asset and change
Yeah,
the
how would
three.
you make
What's
the
the
asset
three?
worth more? Mindset plus skill set plus tool set.
Mindset, you look at a bigger market and a better location.
Like buying into a better location. maybe,
Yeah,
with your Airbnb.
And a lot of the times when I, responding, it's automatic response through AI.
Okay, so that's a good one for
they
tool
s-
set.
Yeah, they send a lot of messages for me.
Right.
And what was the
What
third
about
one?
skill set?
Skill set.
What skills did you need to actually
I
run
mean-
the business more efficiently? Or
I mean, usually it manages itself, but usually so you don't. I did this before, I guess, so you don't double book anybody.
Okay.
Working the calendar and understanding when somebody's supposed to be there and when somebody's
organizational
not.
skills.
Yeah.
All right, your asset. What's asset do you have? You have basically yourself, right? So with your asset, your business, the LKF or whatever, how could you change these three things to try and make you worth more
I
value?
definitely need to change my tool set
Okay.
and my mindset. That's the I gotta to be able to increase my asset. Like those are the things that I feel like I need to do. Especially like mindset is number one.
Okay.
And tool
I think
set.
your mindset has changed quite a bit since we've started meeting. But
Yeah, it could
what
be
about as far
better.
as where's marketing fall into that?
That's what I'm saying.
Where does that fall into it? It falls into the skill set because marketing is a skill.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to start thinking of those three things. How can I move those three things to move the needle for whatever I have?
Right.
Same thing like the business I have with the dogs. My mindset has changed because we started, selling for $1,000. Now they're $3,500.
Definitely.
Skill set as far as even just taking care of the dogs and not having them die away. Because sometimes the puppies will die. But the
Wow.
skills, it's the skills and actually almost like veterinary skills, that we have are beyond the average person. Tool set right now. My wife just this is why I was telling you she's changing a little bit. She's actually advertising on some type of website for AKC. And she's already a preferred breeder or whatever. So she's starting to use the tools to
That's
get
dope.
different leads.
Technology.
Yeah, so that's technology. So, like I said, whatever you want to change, because it's weird. The asset that you have is almost unlimited. The way it's unlimited is by developing the three things on the left side. Okay, once you start developing the things on the left side, the asset has to go up.
So the three things on the left side are
The mindset, the skill set, and the tool set. Yeah, that's just an equation that you can use. Okay. Now, Wavy, this one's for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what a crystal ball is, like you tell the future, whatever.
Oh yeah, the one you
Yeah,
said.
so that's the 8 ball you're talking about.
Oh.
What would you want to know if a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future? What would you want to know? Is there anything you want to know?
When is the expiration date?
Yeah.
So when you clock it out,
Yeah, so I
you
can-
can ride it a little harder.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's legit.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had a crystal ball, what would you want to know?
I would honestly, I don't really care like the expiration
Right.
date, so that really doesn't bother me. For me, what would when am I gonna make it?
You're there already, bro.
Yeah.
I gotta give you a crystal ball. No,
I'm talking about when my millions gonna come.
No worries. Sometimes it
They're
might
already
be the
there.
next step.
You don't
That
even
is
know
true.
it.
That-
This is the thing. It's not that we have to ask for access to something is what you're asking for. You have to have the awareness of the thing. So if you don't understand the awareness of it, then you're never gonna have access to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because God, you ask Him for an idea, He gives you $1 million idea, but that idea isn't worth anything unless you act
yeah,
on it.
if you actually understand it.
Yeah, you have to have awareness.
Yeah.
So what would I want to do?
Because you can't really do anything that you don't understand,
Right,
and you
right.
can't manage anything that you don't understand either.
Right. I mean, I'm just looking at this TV. If I had 1,000 people in here watching the fight, I could charge $10.
Hey, that's true.
That's what I'm saying. Everything has potential,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all idea is the awareness of the access.
Yeah, that's
it's
great.
has nothing to do with the. We already have. God already gave you what you need to be the millionaire you want to be.
Yep.
You just have to move your things around.
Watch party.
Yeah. So what do I want to know about the future?
Is them dogs gonna go? No.
No, is there ever gonna be a time where I don't have to wake up and do dog duty? Okay, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I was just joking.
This might be the answer to my next question too. What 3 wishes would you make if you could?
3 wishes?
Yeah, you need 3 wishes.
Yeah.
What are you asking for?
I mean, for me, I want to travel the world, so
Okay,
get to travel. I want to travel to every country.
Every country.
Yeah, so that's one goal. But I can do that without wishing, though.
Well, I'm saying you can do a lot quicker with the wish.
Yeah. Okay. Then
Yeah, 'cause somebody could make it happen.
unlimited.
That's what a wish is. Okay, unlimited travel.
Unlimited. Just say unlimited. What's it called? Finances.
Okay. Not worrying about your finances.
Then what was it called? I just need to. I
Just need to.
Yeah,
you ain't
I don't need
greedy,
no
huh?
much.
You just want to go anywhere and
and spend however I
you
like.
want.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just need to.
All right.
What about you?
My wishes. Wow.
3 wishes. Yeah.
I'm happy as heck where I'm at. So I'm gonna have to go with to see people around me, be way more, I guess, functional, in the system that we're in right now. So I'd like to be that tide that kind of lifts all boats. Obviously, I'd have to work on my mindset, skill set, tool set, because that's an asset. When you got someone around there, I have to work on that to try and bring everybody else up. I'd have to say, I guess financial freedom would be good too. I'm not saying I'm that far away from it, but I would say, not worrying about anything.
Yeah.
Someone just ask them, buy, here it is.
Yeah,
right here.
as simple as that.
Yeah.
You want to think about it.
One more wish. I wish the education system would change for sure.
Okay.
Because that is definitely holding a
Yeah,
whole
a
thing.
lot of people.
It's like an anchor. You know what I mean? It's just tearing us up. We're not going anywhere with that. Okay. Okay, in 3 words, how would those close to you characterize you? How would they explain?
Actually, it's best to ask somebody. He's right there. I mean, it's not far.
I know these are not easy questions.
Yeah, I mean,
In
I mean,
3
I
words,
can only. The only reason why I find out about me is because I did ask. I'm working on a documentary about me, and I did ask a few people, and majority of them,
I didn't know that.
honest, hardworking, and dedicated.
Yeah. Most
I
definitely.
can't argue with any of them.
Yeah. I like from your point of view. I usually, from your point of view, if you say you're gonna do something, you're gonna do it.
Right.
So that's one thing. I
That's
respect
integrity.
what anybody. If somebody tell me they're gonna do something, I respect them if they do it 100%.
Okay. So you got any other characterizations? Just that one?
No, it's not me. I'm
Oh,
I'm
him.
telling him. You know,
Okay.
it's better for us to tell each other because I don't like
But
judge.
if you don't know yourself,
I totally know, but that's hyping myself up. I don't like.
You gotta
doing that.
hype yourself
No.
up sometimes.
well, you can tear yourself down if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm just in the middle playing field. I'd rather have somebody else, and take that
Talk
in.
about you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you definitely are loyal. You're definitely integrity means like all in one. Like
Yeah.
what you say is what you do.
Yeah, most definitely.
I would say
Caring.
the last one, yeah. I
Okay,
mean, I would
so-
say respectful.
Respectful for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, now he's respectful.
You too, bro. You changed a lot.
yeah,
That's
now
funny.
he's respectful.
That's right.
So why is he respectful now than he wasn't before?
I mean, it's just growth.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
growth,
that's
and he
growth,
just
yeah.
didn't understand how to
Yeah,
respect
that's-
I
himself.
didn't have no responsibilities.
Yeah.
I was judged.
Yeah. All right, this is a good one for you, brother. Is it possible for the world to attain long-term peace?
Wow.
And we may look back on this if we have it, and we may look back on it as if the whole place goes crazy. So, what do you think?
It's. I feel like for the world to have long-term peace, is everybody have to understand their purpose first.
Mm-hmm.
And for you to understand your purpose, your mind have to be stimulated at a young age, and I don't see it
Okay.
because chaos also creates fortune for
Oh,
other people.
absolutely. Yeah.
So, and nobody wants. I think the word is called capitalism, right? Where like
capitalism, yeah, where
everybody's
everybody's able to
same.
do their own.
yeah, they don't want that.
That's because
so-
everybody has to work.
Yeah, they don't want that. So I don't see it.
Okay. You
I
think
mean, it'd
it's-
be fantastic. Those are like world peace is one of my 3 wishes.
okay.
So
What do you think? Is it possible for the world to attain long-term peace?
I don't think so as well. From my point of view, is once everybody, from a point of view, everybody have their own free of will, so they're gonna do what they want to do at any time.
Okay.
So they don't have nobody controlling their every movement. So that's where I can say it's impossible. But if the free of will wasn't in the picture, I can agree with it.
Then everybody's just being controlled.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have to say it's not possible because you have what's called dichotomies. I mean, to know peace, you have to know what no peace or war is. So I mean, you wouldn't know what hot is if cold wasn't here.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know tall if it was short. Those are dichotomies.
yeah,
And like I said, that's the way God kind of set this place up. So we can understand the difference between the two. So that's why it's hard to move all the way towards one side, with the knowledge of the other side there,
yeah.
because I can easily take it easier than I can, work for it, And there's always gonna be people doing that.
Yeah. I mean, the other side too is like you won't be able to, like, if there was just like just wars, you won't understand like peace existed. Anymore.
Right, yeah, it wouldn't even
It's just-
exist,
It was
yeah.
dark all the time. You wouldn't understand the light
Mhm.
existed. So
Yeah.
Now you're in the same area I am. Okay, this is a wild one. If you were to choose only one religion on this earth, which would you choose and why?
for me, the religion I choose will be Islam because it gives me discipline,
Mm-hmm.
and for me, discipline is freedom.
Okay.
That's
Yeah, freedom does not come without discipline for sure.
Yes.
All right, so if there was only one religion on this earth, which one would you choose and why?
Yeah, being a Muslim. From my point of view, it's just because I'm born with it. So anything.
I'm born with it.
So if I was born that, there's no changing. So even if I was born Christian, I'll still be Christian. There's no
Yeah.
changing because.
That's why I'm thinking a little deeper on this one.
Yeah.
Because really, religion's all about control.
Yeah.
And religion is man's way of trying to get back to something that he had at one time, to God's relationship with. So I mean, I'm not saying I'm against Christianity or I'm against Islam or against
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
I'm for the relationship with God on
Oh,
that
for
level.
sure.
So one word religion would be like no religion,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned. I don't know.
But I think that's where like the people like understand it differently though, because the it's how people practice it and how like every place practice it differently, because there's some place where Islam is completely like it's more settled in this way. It's like more strict. Even like Christianity, it's just
Yep.
it's how that person understands it. It's not their religion and what majority of whoever else is making it to be. How you understand it, like how it makes you feel at peace. It gives you discipline.
But
it
I
gets
think
you
that
connected to
comes
God.
from with the relationship with God. I'm saying anytime that there's a separation between two people,
Yeah.
that's not of God.
Yeah,
Because God wants unity. He wants us to be all one.
yeah,
So when you start introducing religions into the crew,
yeah.
I'm going to choose this, you're going to choose that. Now we just
It's
we just
division,
cause
for
yeah,
sure.
it definitely causes a division. So that's it is near here or there. Okay, this one's for you, Hussein. If you could be president of your country for 1 hour, what would you do differently? You are the president of the United States right now.
I'll
What would
step
you do?
down. So I'm just.
I'll step down.
No, I don't. That's.
Wow.
I look even real. with
So
you.
that ain't never going to happen.
No, that's not
All
happening.
right, but
So
what
I
do you
mean,
think? President of any country, no matter.
just
Don't have to
the
be the United
president.
States.
I'd be giving mad money away. We'll keep it real with you.
You will, if you do that, you will definitely what do you call it? You will mess up the economy.
Yeah, but I don't want to
That's
be
what America
there, though.
does.
Yeah, they're already doing that right now.
Yeah,
They've
so-
been done that.
I mean, I just do it to do it.
Yeah, because you only have 1 hour, so might as well.
Yeah. So sign a check.
All
Everybody
right, President
3,000.
Haji,
Ah,
what would you do?
for
Say one thing.
the one thing, if I had to do one thing, I would try to revamp, the education system.
Okay.
Anywhere I am.
That's only an hour. Boy, that would take a while.
But
it's a start. Yeah, it needs to start. Yeah.
Absolutely, stimulate other people's minds, because that's where like people feel like a change comes right away. Change takes
Yeah,
long,
it comes from the seed and,
and
it has
like
to
just
grow.
planting that seed to be able to just stimulate somebody's mind. That's the important part.
Okay.
What would you? What?
Man,
what would
President
you do?
Lemus, I'm telling you. That don't even sound right.
Oh, he does. He.
Uh,
President John Lehman.
I would have to say, yeah, I think I would get rid of the mandatory have to go to school,
Yeah.
because I think that kills a lot of people, that really want to be there, ideas when somebody's just a clown. I mean, if you're not ready, you're not ready,
Absolutely.
but I don't want the same system like, say, China has where, if you don't go to school, you go to the fields. I don't want that. But
Yeah.
what else you going to do, So you're going to make that choice. But
But I think also too, like a good things the good schools do is they kind of. We were in Meadville a couple months ago, and from 8th graders all the way to 12th graders, they only have like 3 hours of school a day, and then the other 5 hours they actually send these kids to things that they're interested in, and that's 5 days a week.
I doubt that would work. I mean, I could
like
go
only
with that
3
to
hours
start.
though. They take three classes from like
So
8
if you
to
can't
like
learn it in
11.
3 hours, you're not going to
Yeah,
learn.
and then after that they're like ship them out.
By the time after lunchtime, man, we are
You got-
babysitting these kids.
Yeah.
You got some people doing like CNC machines.
Yeah.
You got some people out there.
That would stimulate your mind, too, with the kids.
With the nurses.
Yeah, you'll want to go
And
to
that's
school
just
too.
like
Yeah, yeah,
One
you
of the
want to go
things
too,
to-
'cause, it's something you'd want to do.
it's cool.
And you might as well pay for it. I mean, there ain't no reason not
Yeah.
to make money while you're young.
So like that would be something that would be absolutely like wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Oh man, this one's kind of difficult to explain, but I'm gonna try it real quick. Time, money, and knowledge. Those are 3 things you need, and when you have any 2 of them, you can actually produce the 3rd. So if you have time and you have money, you can get knowledge. Whether you buy a book, buy a course, whatever. So you definitely need time for that because you have to take that course. Now, if you have money, knowledge, you can actually make more time. What's that mean? If you have money and knowledge of how to do it, how do you make time?
I make time, get some employees.
Yeah, get some employees and have them do all
Yeah,
that stuff
do
wanna
what you need
You
to
actually
do,
make
yeah.
time for yourself.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
create a system.
Yeah,
that,
create a
that
system
works.
that works. Okay, if you have knowledge and time, you can get money. So those 3 things
But
are
money
actually,
doesn't.
money is nothing more than a concept, my brother. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? It's just value. Some people say the dollar is nothing more than an exchange of like an hour's worth of labor. That's all it is. But if you think of those 3 things, say if you're looking for knowledge, or if you're looking for time, or if you're looking for money, you just got to understand the other 2 things. And if you understand that you need those 2 things, like if I want money and knowledge and time is there, I have to work on my skill set, mindset, tool set. You know, I mean, that's how you get that knowledge.
Okay.
With that,
So-
in time, you get money.
So basically, put more time into and learn the things that you want to get more rewards for.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the idea. Okay. All right. Now let's
So
talk.
if
go ahead.
you want more time,
Mm-hmm.
it's
More time is nothing more than money plus knowledge.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's just some
So
way
you have
look
to
at
have
it.
the knowledge and the money to
Yeah,
get
because
more
you can have
time.
all the money in the world, but if you don't spend it on things to try and buy back your time, you're not making
Yeah.
that time. You don't have that knowledge.
You got the message.
yeah.
That's the perfect one.
So it's just something to think about. It's probably going to go deeper in the next couple of weeks. I just noticed it. All right, negative thinking is the role we play in our own suffering. What does that mean? Negative thinking is the role we play in our own suffering.
It's like putting ourselves down, you know.
Yep.
So
Okay, like put yourself down.
mm-hmm.
Anytime you think negative, you're basically making yourself suffer
Mm-hmm.
because you have the choice. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
Whether you go negative or positive.
But don't you feel like you need to feel those emotions?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think
No,
you
no.
feel- no.
I mean, you're gonna feel them. You might feel them physically, mentally, but you just gotta keep on moving.
Suck that up. That's why.
No, no, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
feeling them and reacting them is completely different.
Yeah, yeah,
You
you're
can
gonna
feel the emotions.
Yeah, yeah, for
It's how
sure.
you respond
Yeah.
to the
Agreed.
emotions.
Okay. So if we always think of the worst case scenario, we actually hold up our blessings. It said in the Bible, the keys to the kingdom, what we bind on earth, we bind in heaven. What we loose on earth, we loose in heaven. So the way that kind of relates is the more negative thinking you have, you actually block your good thinking, your good blessings. So you don't want to think negatively ever.
I agree.
It's hard. You know what I mean? Because it's just something we're used to doing. And they actually have a word for it. And
What
some
is it?
people can't even explain it.
Let's hear
It's
it.
called catastrophizing.
Catastrophe.
It's hard to
Catastrophizing.
say, I know. Because this one dude,
No,
Catastrophizing.
I was watching
I
that.
gotta lick my lips first.
Catastrophize. Yeah, you ain't got no
Catastrophizing.
Yeah.
Catastrophizing.
So think of what's a catastrophe?
It's just
tragedy.
Tragedy, something negative.
Yeah.
You know, so what we do is in catastrophizing, it's called a cognitive distortion that makes people exaggerate the negative consequences of a situation or event.
Yeah.
So when it becomes a word, then obviously there's something wrong with what's going on in the world. So when you catastrophize, anything you see looks like something negative. I see it in school all the time when two people are just wrestling around and having a good time, or just something natural. People see, oh my God, there's a fight. It's like that is a way different way of looking at it. You are thinking negatively as opposed to just allowing things to kind of play out. And actually, people actually stop having dreams and only have nightmares when you start thinking negatively all the time.
Yeah.
So you're actually blocking a lot of, the dreams are a way God kind of comes into you and then puts in new seeds and allows it to, kind of germinate in your imagination, all that stuff. So you're blocking all that.
Yeah, you're blocking the Wi-Fi.
You ain't lying. Okay, so a pessimist, he actually complains about the rain and thinks it's going to flood. So when somebody's walking around is always negative, they call him a pessimist. All right, an optimist knows that all rain clouds run out of water. So nothing on this earth actually goes forever. So an optimist thinks, well, it's going to rain a lot, but it's going to run out of water. A realist actually has an evacuation plan. So if it does flood, we're going to do this, Whereas where I'm trying to get you guys to think and thriving thinking or kingdom thinker is all things work together for those who are righteous. So if you are in connection with your source, it doesn't matter what's going on, it's going to change. So you can think negatively or you can see the opportunity in what's going on.
All right.
So I want you guys to start thinking of just what's a good opportunity. Like you said, during COVID, it's a good time to try and learn some new skills, learn to get on the internet and,
get
people making all
outside.
this money. I mean, it's what the people actually meant for negative, God can use for positive.
Absolutely.
And he did. Like you said, there's people that are way more independent now than they were before that. Everybody going to their 9-to-5 job. Now you see jobs, posted all over the
All
place.
over the place.
Need
And they're
help.
like, they can't find workers.
Yeah.
Because they're like, why
Yeah,
am I going to work
nobody-
for you
yeah.
and,
I
only
can
get
make
paid 2
money,
out of 3
yeah.
days and give the government all this money? They start understanding, what's going on. So see the positive in all occasions during a pandemic, during a recession. The three levels of thinking. The world's level is what's called sinking. The church or the religious level is called surviving. So I'm just trying to survive so one day God's going to take me up to heaven. And really the kingdom level of thinking is thriving under any circumstance. So you got to get in that third level.
I got a question
Go ahead.
for you.
Yep.
You said the surviving is the
Surviving is the
church
church's
level.
way. Yeah.
So they think somebody's gonna come and save them.
Absolutely.
So what does that mean?
What does that mean that someone's coming to save you?
Yeah.
There's somebody coming down here to take us back.
That's what they
No,
say.
I get that, but it's also, don't you feel like whatever you need that is needed, it's like it's
Well, to
already-
be in the thriving level is
Yeah.
where God really wants you to be. Is He wants you to do what you can do with the skills you were given, in the situation that you're in, and not wait for somebody to come back to save you.
But I'm saying, for example, look at the story of the guy by the river saying, like, God, God, could you please send me some?
He sent a boat.
Yeah,
He
that's
sent a
what I'm
boat.
saying.
He
He
sent a
said,
boat.
no.
He's like,
But
nope,
I'm-
God's coming to get me.
Exactly.
He said, I sent
For-
you 3 boats. What else you
for
want?
exactly for those people that are waiting
Uh-huh.
to be saved, but there's signs that have already like, hey, here you go.
They have a
Here
term.
you go.
They have a term for that. They
Yeah.
say you're so heavenly minded, you're no earthly good.
Oof.
Just like the idea is on this earth, we never came from heaven. We came out of God.
Yeah.
God lives in heaven, but what we're actually missing is that in the beginning, He made Adam, and he had like a perfect relationship and just talking back and forth, and the day in the garden. That's what we're missing from God. That relationship. It's not
Yeah.
a religion. It's not how I did this, how I did that. What fills that hole in us,
This-
is that relationship with your source.
Yeah.
So
Being able to have that
just
connection.
connection to it.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and all He wants you to do is thrive.
So what you saying about religious people?
They are too
Heavenly-
heavenly minded to
Yep.
be any earthly good.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's bar.
that's definitely right. Okay, we need to learn how to see through our eyes of our heart. Okay, you have eyes in your head.
Yeah.
Okay, you actually have eyes in your heart. You have ears in your head. You actually have ears in your heart. So eyes in your head give you sight, so you can see things. Eyes in your heart give you insight. Okay, and the idea of that is that sight, you can see things that are not even there, with your imagination and stuff. Like I said, your heart sees differently than your eyes. Your eyes are just to see things physical, but you want to see with your heart. Okay, we don't lack access to anything. We lack awareness to our access. So you have to, like I said, if you're asking God for something, you don't ask for money. You don't ask for, physical things. You want to ask for awareness of how to get them. Because God gives you the power to make wealth. Okay, He doesn't give you wealth. Because we are the creative type, just like God was. And He's not going to do that for us, but He'll give us ideas. He'll give us plans. He'll give us strategies, to actually to make that wealth. So you want to pray that your eyes of your heart may be enlightened in order that you may know the hope to which He has called you to. If you only see with the eyes in your head, that doesn't produce hope. Because you got to think about most situations you see look kind of dire. But if you're actually seeing the same situation through the eyes of your heart, you can actually see the opportunity or the potential in things.
Right.
You can see things that aren't even there yet.
Are you looking deeper?
Yeah, you definitely look deeper. So hope comes from seeing with the eyes of your heart that something is possible. That's where hope comes from. And then your faith will come after that. Okay, sight of your eyes is in your head. The sight of your eyes in your head is actually to gaze at the exterior. So when you're looking at the economy, you're looking at pandemic, you're looking at gas prices, you're looking at people's shortcomings, that's sight. Okay? Whereas insight is to glance at the exterior and gaze at the interior. That's a revelation and knowledge of the unseen. So you can actually use your imagination and you can make something different than what it is just by how you're thinking.
Yeah. It's just being able to see an opportunity and everything.
Yeah. And the idea is seeing actually bleeds into your thinking. So with that negative thinking, you're seeing with your eyes, and that like I said, it can only be negative. And we're supposed to actually walk by faith and not by sight. So your faith comes from hearing of God's, whatever God tells you, and you're supposed to be able to do whatever He wants you to do, but like I said, if you just see it with your eyes, you think, well, that's not possible. So negative thinking is the treadmill for your life that exhausts you by keeping you in the same place. So if you think of negative thinking as a treadmill, you sit there and you run for 10 hours, it's like you're still in the same place.
Yeah.
So negative thinking is going to stop you from getting ahead in anything you try to do. Okay, so the first thing is you got to change your thinking about something.
Most
Because
definitely.
that one guy said, the way you look at something, that something will change. The way you think about it. So your perspective is shaped by the algorithm of your thoughts. So the way you look at something is shaped by how you think about it. Just like when you point and click on like social media, there's an algorithm. It just starts popping up the same kind of stuff that you just clicked on. So you got to think of your mind the same way. So your perspective is shaped by your thoughts. All right.
So the more you indulge in things, the more your brain.
Yeah, you kind of loop into that.
Loop
You
into
stay
that,
there.
yeah.
So when you start thinking negative, you're going to be negative. And then when your thoughts are negative, then your behaviors and your actions will be negative. So you're on that treadmill. It's not going anywhere. Okay, we're actually called to meditate on God's word day and night. You know what I mean? So you're supposed to think the way God thinks. And if you do, then everything is possible.
How would one know what God thinks?
You have to look in what God said, whether it's in the Quran, in the Bible. Like I said, that's the idea, is to try and take those words and, just think on them. And your life actually moves in the direction of your most dominant thought. So think about what you're thinking, and that's how your life is moving, how you're feeling. Everything moves that same direction. So you have to think about what your most dominant. It sounded like one of the things popped out. Negative. Okay, negative thoughts can actually be projections on people who's doing the thinking. So a lot of times your negative thoughts don't even come from you. They come from somebody else. They say, well, you're not any good. You're not good enough. Then you start thinking that.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? So why are some people so negative? This is why that you become negative. Pain has been extended by a loved one. So something happens in your family, whether somebody dies, whether somebody is, poor or sick or whatever. That's one way that you start thinking negatively.
Understood.
Yeah, and negative thinking is a punishment we give ourselves. You gotta think about that. You actually do it to yourself.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're punishing yourself because someone else didn't keep their word.
No, you
So
can't
if someone
do
else
that.
doesn't keep their word, that doesn't mean you punish yourself.
No, you move around
Yeah,
that and
you
just don't
you
mess
gotta
with them
keep it
again.
going. Yeah. So it actually hides the real you. When you start thinking negatively, that's not who you are. Okay, the parts that are unlovable, parts that your parents didn't know how to parent, that's usually how those negative thoughts come. The other one's loop disappointments, where you're actually preparing yourself to be disappointed. It's like when you get disappointed,
You prepare
do
yourself
something.
to
Yeah,
be
you think it's okay now that you're
That's
failing
bad.
at something because you've always failed at something.
That's wow.
That's bad. Disappointments need to be looked at as directions, not as devastation. So the idea is, when you fail at something, you got to look at it as what's the lesson in it. If you look at what's the lesson in it, you can stay positive. You don't have to be negative. All right. And sometimes, just you start defending, yourself. Like, say you can't climb a mountain or something like that. It was like, I ain't even going to try to climb. Because I know I ain't going to do it anyways. So I'm defending my own negative thinking. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's like you kill yourself.
It's like somebody defending their own lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the problem with negative thinking or doubting, though. Is when you negative. Is that the second one?
Yeah, I believe so.
That might be.
The audio's on. You're good.
Yeah, I feel like it's a phone though.
You think it's a phone?
Yeah,
I thought I heard both.
these boys are good.
Okay, good.
Well, okay.
Maybe that's a notification. No, that's cool. Okay, so we're almost done anyway. So the problem with negative thinking or doubting your gift is that someone is in bondage. Somebody's actually praying to get help out of bondage, that God gave you the answer or their lifeline. So the people that are walking around, thinking negative all the time are supposed to be the answer to somebody else's problem.
Right, because
So
they
the more
already
people that are-
experienced it.
Yeah, the more people that are thinking negatively, the worse it gets.
Right.
So if I never choose, this is just an example. If I never would have chose to mentor people, those people's lives wouldn't have become different.
Right.
Okay.
You think so?
I think so. Because sometimes I even talk to them. They like a couple of guys that came here, like, oh, you were the most influential person, because you spoke kind of life into what I'm doing. Like I said, if I wasn't there, somebody else might have did it.
That's what I was thinking
I'm
too.
saying
because
God's plans will always, prevail.
Yeah,
Yeah, but sometimes, like I said, if you're not in your gift or you're not doing what you're supposed to do, other people are actually suffering because you're not doing what you're supposed to
exactly.
do.
Right.
Yeah, if it's all about you, you're in the wrong game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's all about.
So that's why you need to get up on your off your asses because it's not for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So God wants you to give birth to something that will be a lifeline to pull another brother out of bondage. So really, like I said, the people that are walking around, woe is me, blaming everything, doing those type of people are supposed to be in their gift and helping other people. And like I said, they'll be the tide that rises everybody. It could be a business for workers, like even, my I wouldn't even call it a gift. It's almost a curse, but it depends on how you look at it. The business that I have, could be somebody's lifeline if I just hired them and just,
Exactly. You
like
could
I
be
said,
paying
it's-
for somebody's rent right now.
Absolutely.
You know?
But I'm saying, until you're able to do that, your business will not grow.
That,
what I'm
and
saying?
I trust me, I understand
You
that in my own
understand?
business.
Because you have your own ceiling
Yeah.
that you can only do so much by yourself.
Yeah.
So it could be, could be someone's cure for sickness, could be a voice in the darkness, could be an answer for a stronghold or a wrong belief. So your deliverance from negative thinking is also an answer to someone else's prayers. So think about anybody in your life that has, kind of thinks negatively all the time. That person is not helping themselves and they're not helping anybody around them. And if you stay around them long enough, they might pull you down. You know what I'm saying? That's a strong energy, that negative thinking. Okay, so how do you get rid of negative thinking? You're supposed to rest in the promises of God's word and not paranoia. So start seeing not with the eyes in your head, but see with the eyes of your heart. So start seeing the opportunities, start seeing the different things that he's trying to do in your life to help other people.
For sure.
So there's a lot of sayings in the Bible. One's like, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. He is the way, truth, and the life. If God is for us, who can be against us? So those are some of God's promises. I'm sure there's other promises in the Quran. But if you rest on those instead of, well, it ain't my job anyways, that person's going to be negative the rest of their life. Like I said, depends on what you think about. That's going to help that person or going to hurt them.
I mean, the thing is, you said something like, it's not my job anyways.
Well, I'm saying that's the negative part.
No,
Yeah,
I know, but
it is my
what-
job because their job is going to help my job.
no, I'm talking about, for example, knowing when to intervene and not knowing when to intervene. That's also another thing too, because you don't want to intervene into somebody else's lesson as well. So that's a question, like, how would you know?
But you can actually plant a seed, and like I said, when the environment's right, and they're ready to grow, then they'll grow. You know what I'm saying? If you never intervene and say, well, it's not my job anyways, then you might not be doing your part. I mean, like you said, you have to check it. We're called to check, negative behaviors. I mean, obviously, I can't change your negative behavior, but I can try and model something that may work
No, I'm
better for
talking
you.
about, for example, like, say you are at school and then the kids are fighting, right? And for a fact, the reason, like, it needs to happen. But if you stop that, it needs to happen. Now you stop somebody else's lesson. You could've been
Absolutely.
a teacher.
That's why
another
I
teacher.
said I'm like a hockey official.
Yeah.
If it hits the ground and someone's pound a crowd, then I intervene.
Yeah. Okay.
So you're going to get the black eye. You're going to get the little pop in the face. But you did it. Okay. And the first one's rest in God's promise. The second one is remember it's not about you. Someone else's deliverance depends on you to answer the call in your life. And remember, delayed obedience is actually disobedience. So a lot of people try to delay, trying to do what God wants them to do, but that's actually disobedience. So it's a different way of looking at it. And the last one is render the pen. You're not the author and finisher of faith. So God is the one that controls everything. So when you try to write your own, physical nature onto somebody, you try and change them yourself, that's not your job.
It won't work.
Yeah, it's not going to work anyways. You're just
Like you
anytime
said,
you-
just plant the seed and keep
Yep.
moving.
there you go. So you want to trust in God's timing and So that's how you get rid of negative thinking.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. And like I said, you want to see with the eyes of your heart, not of your sight. It's weird because we have these higher levels that animals don't have, that God gave us because we're supposed to use different ways of understanding the earth. Like the ears of your heart is like your intuition. So that means like if I'm walking down the street and I see two people acting kind of foolish, my intuition says I better get away from that,
Yeah. Right?
So if I just, saw something or I didn't hear anything, it wouldn't bother me. But, the ears of your heart will actually tell you when something's funny coming up.
I mean, does it come to a point where maybe you're like, I need to protect my ears. I need to protect my eyes in terms of,
Does it?
you know.
Because whatever's in that heart, whatever's in your heart is what's going to actually come out.
Even if
during
you
those
protect
times.
it.
Yeah, I'm protecting like things from not going in there.
That's
like
what I'm
the
saying.
negative
For
stuff.
example, like going into places that you shouldn't be, so you don't get the wrong, get the wrong vibration from somebody else,
because you
or
can
maybe
actually
seeing something.
you can actually desensitize, the heart, with the eyes and the ears. Because
Yes.
if you're always in that situation, nothing bothers you. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
because it becomes your environment now,
Yeah.
and the environment, will change you.
Will it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that we're a product of our environment, and we our bodies are taught to like adapt, but it all it starts from being able to plant that seed. That's why I think education at a very young age is very important. If you want to create the next generation of whoever,
Thinkers.
you have to start very young.
We don't have a generation of thinkers. We have a generation of obedient. You got to raise your hand to go to the bathroom. You got to ask for permission for this, do that.
I've been doing that
It's almost like jail.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like
Because I just don't understand why. Like, if God Himself gave people the free will, why would somebody want to like take that away from you? That's almost as
it's all about
the
control.
opposite.
Yeah, it is, because that's what the devil does. He works in the opposite. You know what I mean? That's and it obviously infiltrated. You got to think about the timing. You know what I mean? Like when we got out of the agricultural system where they got rid of the slavery, then we come with the industrial age when it came with the machines and stuff. You needed an educated slave, but you still didn't need someone thinking, why am I doing this? You still got to keep that creativity out of there, because once your creativity hits, and you're able to, switch that creativity.
I
for
seen
your
the
time.
video you sent me on Instagram about people going to work and not having thinking that they're free.
I think that's freedom. Freedom,
Yeah.
just to pay your bills and just exist. That ain't freedom.
Nah, that ain't gonna work.
That's just a different type of slavery. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got
He said a different type of slavery.
That's what I'm
Yeah, that's
saying.
scary.
It's a volunteer slavery.
Yeah,
You're a
understood.
volunteer slave. Because you take that little bit of check.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And they're still keeping you in check because
You're taking that check and they keeping you in check.
That
there you
was
go.
funny.
That's what happens. So,
Yep. Well,
All
all right. I guess that's it, brother.
right, most definitely. All right, this is the end of the episode, and we'll see y'all next week.